Okay, so now we'll do material B again. It's pretty similar. So we'll do the usage variance first. So should have used 10 kilos. Yeah, 10 times 1,050. 10 times 1,050. 10,500. We actually used 10,460. That's a positive variance, so we say favorable. Yeah, I'll just put that in there like that, and then just do 460. Yep. Then we use the standard price, which is £4 per kilo, because it's just going to be 40 divided by 10. So we just do 40 divided by 10. Okay, 160 favorable. The price, so the price variance, so let's see, should have been, we know that it should have been 40 divided by 10. So then we've got the actual price was 38,179 divided by 10,460 equals 38,179 divided by 10,460, which is 365, which is a positive favorable variance because we paid less for something. Yeah, we paid less for something than we thought we would. So you do that minus 38,179 divided by 10,460 times by 10,460, because that's how much we used. Okay, favorable. Yeah. So now we are going to move on to our labor variance. And here we have the rate, which is, and the efficiency. Okay? So the rate is how much we paid for it. Yeah? So we thought we would pay direct wages £18 every 3 hours. So that's £18 divided by 3, or £6 an hour. Yeah? How much did we actually pay? We paid 19,933 for 3,215 hours. So we work out 19,933 divided by 3,215, 6.2. So what does that tell us? We've spent more than we thought we would, so it's adverse, yeah? Because the rate is 6.2 is what we actually paid. We thought we would pay 6, so we've paid more for something than we thought we would. Adverse variance. Okay. Minus 19,933 divided by 3,215. Should give me what I want. Yeah. Do minus here, because I don't want it to be plus. And then we times that by how many hours we did use. Okay. 643. 3,215. Yeah. Okay. And that is your answer. Oh, we don't know whether the efficiency is. So efficiency then is how many hours should we have used based on what we thought. So we thought we would use 3 hours per unit. Yeah, we used 3,215. So we used 3,215. That's how many hours we used. We thought we would use 3 hours per unit times by however many units we made, which is 1050. So we thought we would use 3,150. We actually used 3,215, meaning we have an adverse variance. Because we've used, it's taken us longer to make something than we thought it would do. Yeah? So we do that, and we do that minus 3 times 1050. Okay? And then what do? We times this, because we're checking our budget, we times this by our standard price. Yeah, per rate, per hour. Yeah, because so we've used 65 more hours than we thought. How much did we budget those hours to cost? We budgeted them to cost 18 divided by 3 per hour, which is 6, if you remember. Okay. Excellent. So 390. Okay. So you got an adverse labor. And your efficiency variance, your variable overhead efficiency variance, works in exactly the same way. Okay? In exactly the same way. Okay? So we are going to do variable overhead variance which is rate and efficiency. Okay. Or you can call it expenditure. Let's call it expenditure and efficiency. So how much did we think we would spend? So expenditure, it's better just to do it as expenditure. So we spent 10,000 and so we spent 10,288. That's actually what we spent. How much did we think we would spend? Well, we thought we would spend £9 every 3 hours, or £3 an hour. Yeah, to make 1 unit. So we spent £9 to make 1 unit, which is 3 hours. So we spent, so we would expect then what we would have expect to have spent on our budget would be £9 per hour times 1050. So we actually spent, we thought we would spend 9450, but actually spent 10288. That's adverse because we spent more on something than we thought we would spend. Okay, so we do the 10 minus 9 times 1050. Yeah, because you got 9 here, which is your variable overhead, times by 1050. You don't, this is not, you remember, you're not using this number here because that's based on this. Yeah, what we want to say is this is on a per unit basis, so this should apply whatever units, whether you made 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Yeah, this still applies. So that's why we're just using this and we're comparing it against that. And then our efficiency variance will be so how many hours would we have expected to use? So we were expected to use 3 hours, yeah, here, per unit, okay? 3 hours per unit, yeah. So in that case, then we've used 3,215 hours, yeah? 3,215 hours, which is the same. So again, we've got a variance of hours that are 60. So we just do exactly the same as we did before. So you would do the 31215 because we know that this is adverse. Yeah, know that this is adverse. We've got 3215 minus 3 times 1050, exactly the same, 65. Yep, will give us 65. And then we do exactly the same as we did last time, but for we don't use the labor rate, we just use 9 divided by 3 because that's our variance. Yeah, that's our variable overhead variance. Remember, £9 every 3 hours, so that's £3 an hour. Okay. And that is your variable overhead efficiency variance. Okay. Oh, let's not do that. Let's just move you down. All right. Okay, now we're going to do our fixed overhead expenditure variance, fixed overhead, expenditure variance. And this is just how much you spent versus how much you thought you would spend. Yep. So we're going to do that here. What do we think it will be? So how much did we spend? We spent 15,430. We thought, and this is per unit, so we thought we would spend as a per fixed cost. So here you do not flex your fixed costs, yeah? Fixed costs are not flexed. So your fixed costs are on the basis of how many units you've made, yeah? Okay. So what you do is you take your fixed costs here, you take fixed costs times by 1,000 units, because your fixed costs do not change on how much you make. It doesn't matter. So your fixed costs are always based on how much your budgeted units were. Your fixed costs do not change. Yeah. So they do not change based on however many units you produce. It doesn't matter whether you produce 1,000, 2,000, 15,000. They are still 15 times what your budget was, 15,000. So, and you'll see what you'll get here is, as you spent 15,000, but on your fixed overhead you actually spent more. What you will see is that you will have a negative. You might have a negative there, but you'll have a positive volume variance, because your fixed costs are spread over the number of units you produced. You produced more units here. Yeah, you produced more units, so you've spread your fixed cost over a larger number of units. Okay, so you've actually got a positive variance here for the volume variance. Okay, so the expenditure variance, we can see that you spent 15,452, 15,432. Yeah, spent 15,432. Okay, let's just put that there. Make it a bit bigger. Bring it in a bit. Okay. Spent 14,432. Actually, you thought you would spend 1,000 times 15, which is 15,000. Yeah. So you actually have got a negative adverse variance here. Yeah. Okay. And then fixed overhead volume variance. As I said before, this is going to be favorable because it can't not be. Because you've got 15,000, you were going to spend 15,000, yeah, over 1,000. Okay. You actually spread it over 1,050. All right, 1,050, meaning you've got a positive variance. Yeah. So it's 15,000 divided by 1050. And that will be minus that. So let me just double check that that's correct. Yep. So you thought that you would spend, you would have a 15. So you thought you would spend 50. You'd spread it over 1,000 units. Yeah. You actually spread it over. So then you take 15,000 divided by 1,000, and then you minus that from 15,000 divided by what you actually. So you take 15,000 divided by what you budgeted, 15,000 divided by how much you actually produced, and then you times that by how much you actually produced, and that will give you a variance. Basically, the rule here, the logic here is, if you produced more than you budgeted, your fixed overhead volume variance will always be favorable. If you produce less than you budgeted, then it will be adverse, okay? Because your fixed costs, the way they work it out is, the more you produce, the lower your fixed costs per unit are. So that's why, okay? And that's why it's favorable. Times that, 750, right? And then you should get actual profit. Actual profit. We'll just be working this out. So you just go, anything that's adverse, you minus. So you go minus, minus, plus, plus, minus, 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 plus. Okay? And that way should be your answer. Yeah, see, we've got all these right, so 643, yeah. 160, yeah. 3661, 105, 167, yeah. Alright, so that's all good. And then, yeah, that should be, then your statement will just be, okay, so there's something slightly wrong there. Did I? I think that just might be what I've added in. Oh. Okay, fine. All of those are correct. I must have typed something in wrong, so I'll just correct that in anyway. So I'll send this to you now.